Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
And new undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael the Count Bisping.
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
Hell yeah, is right. Anthony Smith in the house. Both fresh off a return from UFC 271. A lot of controversy surrounding this fight, and I know you feel very, very differently. So I'm looking forward to debating and going head to head with your MMA prowess, Mr. Smith.
What a good fight, though. Either way, I thought the card was fucking awesome. I had a good time in Houston. I got a lot of family there, so I went over and barbecued. You know, they're cooking ribs and brisket, and so I ate my ass off all weekend. It was a good time. Oh,
nice. Yeah. Everybody talks about the barbecue in Texas. I just flew in last minute. I got there Friday, saw the arena, and flew out again. Do you know what I mean? So I never got to try any Texas barbecue. In fact, you know the drill, Anthony. I mean, obviously more pre-pandemic times. You fly to these places, like I go to Brazil, whatever, and they'll say, "Oh my God, that's amazing." I was like, no. You fly there, you see the hotel bar, maybe a restaurant, the arena, and then you're back at the airport.
Yeah, you don't get to. I get the same thing a lot of times. You know, be sitting around with some neighbors, or someone finds out what we do, and like, oh, you get to see all these places, like a lot of hotels and all these places. That's about it.
A lot of bitchy flight attendants is what I find, and what I have to deal.
Oh my God, I didn't think I had any good stories. So I'm on this flight. Stupid enough, I don't know what happened, but I had a connection from Omaha to Houston, which is stupid.
Oh, the connections.
So I'm stuck in Denver, and the plane we're supposed to get on, the PA system went out. So they delayed the flight an hour, which I thought it'd be pretty nice to have a flight without a PA system. It'd be nice and quiet. But like the day before, I realized that I wasn't first class. I get a little bougie sometimes. So I upgraded to first class, and it was those pods, where it lays back. It's
nice.
Big and cushy. So they board us on the plane. And then the PA system's still not working. So once we were boarded, we sat on the runway for 2 hours while they're trying to fix this PA system. Now, had I been back in coach, I'd have been losing my goddamn mind. I'd have been pissed. But
I've got a similar story. I'm not going to interrupt, but I know the feeling because I was up front like you were, and the people in back in coach were losing their minds. Continue.
And you could hear them back there like, hey, can you just let us off and then we'll get back on? And I was super comfortable, so I just laid my chair all the way back.
Same. Pretty much. In my similar story, I might have taken a little something that relaxes you, of pill form. I had a couple of glasses of champagne. I was good. I was watching a fucking movie.
They're taking our dinner orders and shit. So I lay back and I fall asleep, and so I sleep pretty much the whole time we're there. And all of a sudden, my whole body just starts getting lifted back up. And then I feel a person like reaching across me. This is the biggest goddamn flight attendant dude I've ever seen in my whole life. Like it didn't look like a guy you want to run into in a dark alley. And he's reached all the way across me. He's rolling my seat up, like the little electric seat, sitting me up and buckling my seatbelt at the same time as we're getting ready to take off.
Three hands.
I was so scared. Like I didn't know what to do. I just looked up at him like half awake, and he just went, "Oh yeah, I just wanted to make sure you're safe." And then just
oh my God. I was, but I'm gonna have fucking nightmares tonight.
Yeah, no, I'm terrified.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Wild.
You know, on my flight coming home, actually, there was a little snafu as well. Nothing to do with me before you all start, because I've told a few stories on here about, things that go wrong on flights, because it's a highly stressful time sometimes. On this occasion, lovely flight attendant. She couldn't have been any nicer. She was very nice, as I said. But there was a lot of commotion. I was right at the front of the plane, so I could hear everything. She was on the phone a lot, and she's, I could hear certain keywords that were perking up my ears and thinking, hold on, what's happening here? I said, excuse me, what's happening? She goes, well, we thought the plane was going to have to turn around because we thought one of the engines were on fire. And I'm like, oh, fuck, this doesn't sound good. But it turns out some guy was vaping in the bathroom.
Oh,
He was vaping in the bathroom. The alarm went off, but when the alarm went off, they weren't sure. They couldn't pinpoint what it was for. And anyway, this was at the start of the flight. We'd been in the air for about half an hour, and they were going on. They were making a big deal out of it. And I thought, this poor guy. Do you know what I mean? Because what happened? They said, listen, when we land, you're all going to have to stay on the plane. The police are going to come on. They're going to escort him off the plane and all the rest of it. And this poor guy, when they frog marched him off the plane, I mean, talk about embarrassing, right? And he looked like a nice young guy. He was like early 20s. He was dressed like totally, a little bit of a nerdy guy. He had his little backpack on, you know what I mean? And he looked like you can't judge a book by his cover, but he looked like a very nice guy. I said, what, is he being a problem? Is he drunk or anything? And they went, oh, no, he's cooperating. He's being very nice, but he hit his vape pen in the thing. And I thought, just let him off. There's no fucking harm done. It's not like he lit up a cigarette. And then when we walked off, the police were talking to him. I saw them and they seemed to be being all right. And I said to my wife, in that situation, if he plays ball, if he's very nice, if his attitude is correct, there's a good chance that they might just say, right, well, don't fucking let it happen again. Or maybe they throw the book at him, issue him a huge fine, and he gets put on the no-fly list, which would be a shame.
That'd be terrible. That'd be terrible. Over a vape pen. That's yeah.
It's like, come on. Anyway, before we move on, we've got lots to talk about. We're going to debate. We've got Jared Cannonier. We've got Darren Till joining us as well. And we got what could turn into a massive argument with Anthony Smith and I, because we got a difference of opinion. And I'm fucking ready to take you on head to head. Okay. Oh, by the way, we've also got repercussions of wrong bets. What does that mean from the last show? It means we might be doing a shoey. We're bored. We're ready. We're armed. We're ready to go. But before we get into all that good stuff, and it is going to be good stuff, and thank you all, subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't done that. Valentine's Day, the day of love, Anthony Smith. Is this a special occasion in your house?
No, we avoid it like the plague. Valentine's Day is a new relationship day.
Yes,
that's for the love for people for couples that still like each other. That's what me and my wife always joke around and say. It's kind of like going out on New Year's Eve to a club. It's like amateur night. I'm not I'm not waiting around for 2 hours for a reservation. And so we always have hung out at home with the kids. And like, I'm sure that you probably did it with your kids. You kind of just pull your kids into Valentine's Day too. So I got my kids Valentine's presents. They actually got me dress socks to wear on the desk with all their pictures on them.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. It's kind of a cute little thing, but no,
I've got 3 kids and they're older than yours, and they didn't get me fuck all. Not a little, nothing.
We're sending a tweet out to your kids.
Yeah. Well, Rebecca and I, we don't do anything. We've been together 23 years at this point. Do you know what I mean? We're not doing Valentine's Day all the time. And to be quite frank, I forgot I was working all weekend in Houston. So fortunately, that's my excuse, but it works. It ties in. So anyway, fuck Valentine's Day. Super Bowl. Any interest in that yesterday?
Yeah, we had a little get together at a friend's house down the street. It was pretty low key. I didn't have my team wasn't in the game. So
who's your team?
I'm a Chiefs fan, Kansas City Chiefs. So yeah. It was a good game though. That's all I really care about. I want it to be competitive. You don't ever want to see a blowout. So it was a competitive game. Came down to the wire.
It was a good game. I enjoyed it. I mean, I don't really watch sports, but it's a cultural phenomenon. The Super Bowl.
Halftime show though.
The halftime show was amazing. Get to that in a second. And I got back from the airport, I flew home and I'm like, the Super Bowl's still on. I'll watch that. And I even caught the halftime show. And it came down to the wire of the game, didn't it? And it was kind of, I was captivated. I was like, are the Bengals going to pull this back? Are they going to do it? Then what happened? They gave up possession. Was it a fumble? Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Fumble.
They I don't know. They kind of shit the bed. They looked really good the whole beginning of the game.
Yeah.
And I think some of it's just inexperience on Joe Burrow's part for being such a young quarterback.
These names mean nothing to me, but I did see the young money question.
Well, he's the quarterback for the Bengals.
Yeah.
He's just young, and that's a crazy spot to be that early. It'd be like
they gave up though.
They gave it away. I think they gave it away.
But like there was still, it wasn't long. There was like 40 seconds on the clock, and I get it. The Rams had possession, so there's no way they could have changed it in 40 seconds. But still, 40, you give it a shot. Give it a fucking shot. You don't just concede defeat. If you're playing chess, you don't just throw the king down and say, fuck it.
Well, if the other team has the ball, they can literally just run the clock down. So instead of just getting online and waiting for the 40 seconds to go down, they just say it's over.
Do you know who wouldn't have done that, though?
Michael Bisping.
Roxanne Modafferi. She fucking keeps trying. She will keep walking forward. She will keep getting smacked. She will live by the sword, die by the sword, and maybe die by the sword. You know, we're going to get into all that in a little bit. So let's talk about some of this stuff. We got 20 minutes until Jared Cannonier. Oh, by the way, the halftime show was fantastic.
It was.
Bit of a throwback there, some old school hip hop. Do you like a bit of 90s hip hop, Anthony?
I do. That's my generation. I love that whole genre of music. It was cool. And Snoop Dogg is everywhere. That dude doesn't turn down an opportunity for anything. That guy works.
He's considerably less gangster than he used to be. You know what I mean? When you see him doing adverts with the General for insurance and stuff like that, and then some of the other stuff he does with Betty White before she passed away. I mean, don't get me wrong, God bless him. The man is earning ridiculous amounts of money, I'm sure. But also, you know, I mean, hey, God bless him. God bless him. He's making money. Do you know what? The only thing that disappointed me with the halftime show, obviously they had all those hip hop greats, legends, and I was sitting there with my wife saying, "Oh, who was missing from that lineup?"
I don't know who's missing.
Ice Cube.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, they're gonna finish. I'm like, Ice Cube hasn't come on yet. I'm like, they're saving him for the end.
Yeah, I was disappointed it wasn't longer, but that, you know, they're tied to the time that there is in between. You know what I mean? At half, I was getting into it. It was just disappointed when it was over.
Yeah, no, it was good, but I just thought Ice Cube would have came on. But still, good stuff. Anyway, right, 20 minutes. Let's get into this. We'll start with the main event. Let's just get right into it. I've been slaughtered online. Oh my God. And I'm sure you're going to join in and reinforce it. What about my mental health, Anthony? I'm getting bullied. I'm telling people that I should take my fingers out of Izzy's ass. Stop being a shill for the company. Stop bigging up Izzy just because he just signed a big contract. If you think the UFC tell us who to root for and who to big up, you're out of your goddamn mind. I thought Israel Adesanya won the fight. He got off to a great start in round 1. He dropped him. He butchered up the leg. Round 2, Robert came back strong and he could have an argument to win that one. 3, 4, I thought Izzy stopped the takedowns. He landed some good shots. He outstruck him.
You gave him 3?
The fight. I gave him 3. I gave Robert 5. I gave Robert 5. I'm just setting the table for you to allow you to interject. But I thought Izzy controlled the action of the fight. He was never in danger. Robert was a lot of the time, he was just a little behind. That's why it seemed like I was being hard on Robert. I wasn't being hard. I was just trying to pinpoint what he could do better to win the rounds, because he was only the rounds that he did lose, you know, because I gave him 5 and maybe give him 2. But he was only just behind, and he was predominantly only using the left hand. He did throw the right hand on occasion, but I think he could have had a little more success had he have thrown it. People are like, oh, stop going on about that, mentioning it every 5 seconds. Maybe I did mention it a bit too much. If I did, I apologize. But I thought Robert had a really good showing. He did great. He gave a good account of himself, but he came up short, and the fucking judges agreed with me. Anyway, Anthony Smith, take me to school.
I swear to God, I'm not butchering you online, but there was a point where I took my headset off because I like to listen to your guys' commentary when I'm up there. I sat for the whole main card until the main event. I sat cage side, so I was right there by the cutman. But I like to listen to what you guys have to say. I did during after the third round. I pulled my headset off and looked at Chill and said, Bisping is out of his fucking mind. Because you said something about, you're like, oh, well, that was absolutely Adesanya's round. First round, clearly Adesanya. I don't think that there's too much debate there. I think
zero debate.
Yeah, I think 5th round, pretty clear that that's Robert Whittaker. 2, I thought 2 was the swing round that you could kind of go either way. I can see an argument for both. But 3, I thought was clearly Robert Whittaker. He controlled everything in that entire fight, other than the random leg kicks from, Adesanya did a really good job with the leg kicks all the way through the entire fight. But round 3, Whittaker really, really picked it up, and he moved. He had better head movement. He started doubling his jab up to get inside, start attacking the body. So I think for 4 minutes and 15 seconds, Robert Whittaker controlled that entire round. And then Izzy came on real strong at the end, and he had a pretty heavy 45 seconds. But I'm not willing to give Adesanya the entire round for 45 seconds of dominant work or at least winning work, because I think Robert Whittaker won over 4 minutes of that round. And some people will, and some people
are. Well.
What if you're striking, right? And you're just slightly ahead striking. And then a wrestler in the last 35 seconds gets a takedown. Some people think that the wrestler should take that round. I'm not one of those guys.
Just so we don't have to readdress it. According to the new unified rules of mixed martial arts, that's not how it works on the scoring criteria. If everything's even and there's a takedown, then yes. But if everything's not even, then the takedown is merely a change of position unless you make it work in your favor, unless you pass guard, unless you do some damage, threaten submissions, etc. Continue.
So that's why I gave Whitaker the fourth round, or the third round. And then 4, I thought 4 was pretty much more of what was going on in 3, but he got a takedown. So again, I think that they were very, very even. If we're talking their striking, it was the jab of Robert Whitaker versus the leg kick of Adesanya. I look at those things fairly even, and if the damage is even, then you have to check down to something else. The striking was pretty even, in my opinion. There's no one really landing anything significant.
Correct.
But then Robert Whitaker gets a takedown. Now, a lot of people want to say, well, he didn't do anything with it. I don't give Israel Adesanya points for defending a takedown or give him any props for getting back to his feet. I think defense is its own reward. And that's kind of what I said on the post show. Like, whether you accept the fact that those takedowns happened or not, like, Izzy had to deal with that. And I think that's, again, it's a change of position. I think he controlled where the fight was happening in a lot of those situations. Whether he did anything with it at all, he's being the offensive guy, and Izzy has to deal with it. So I gave clearly Whitaker 3, 4, and 5.
All right, fair. Hey, listen, that's how you saw it. Fair enough. I disagree, and allow me to retort. Okay. So regarding the takedowns, and I've always felt like this, and now I guess the unified rules kind of back it up a little bit. But regardless, this is how I feel, how I see a fight. If somebody's trying to take somebody down, that obviously is their strategy. They're putting a lot of effort into it. And the person that's defending the takedown and the person that's trying for the takedown, at that moment in time, they're locked in a battle. Right? And the fight is the takedown. Who's going to win? Who's going to succeed? Who's going to be defeated? More often than not, Robert lost that battle. Izzy defended more takedowns than one was taken down. There was no significant damage done on the ground. There was no submission attempts other than in round 5 when he took his back standing. And I gave Robert that round. And then if you look at the scorecards and you say the little flicky kicks, leg kicks are significant. Calf kicks end fights. Robert complained about the calf kick at the end of the first round, so they were having its toll. They were doing damage. It was an extremely close fight, but if you look at the stats, here we go. Round 1, outstruck him 18-9. Round 2, outstruck him 15-12. Round 3, 17-12 for Izzy. Round 4, Robert got that one 16-15. Round 5, 13-10. Now, of course, that doesn't paint an accurate picture. Right. I understand that you can't look at that. And they are still pretty close. It's not like a landslide in any round. Some of them were a bit more victorious. It was a super close fight, but I thought that Robert could have made some adjustments to make himself more successful. Like, he wasn't throwing the right hand enough. The takedown, the pressure was good. It was a good attempt. So that's why when I was talking and saying he needs to do more, is because he didn't go through that training camp, do all that work, beat 3 of the top middleweights on the planet, and fly to Houston to just almost beat him. He wants to be victorious. And I thought in my mind, he is trending towards losing this fight if he doesn't change some things up. So that's why I was saying what I was saying. I wasn't being critical of his performance. I was saying, I think he's going to lose if he continues like this. Mm-hmm. Here's what he should do different. And we know judges often get it wrong, like in the Roxanne Modafferi fight. But that judge, this is my final point, that judge wasn't working this one. As I said, that's how I felt. And the professional judges that are paid, they agreed with me, baby boy.
Listen, but most of the time, we're shitting on the judges. Most of the time, we're shitting on the judges here.
Well, this time they got it right.
But you can't.
They got it right. Fucking, I have never slagged off a judge in my life other than the Chael Sonnen fight.
Again, I want to reiterate this just to the viewers and the listeners. Like, this is not a robbery. Like, this isn't. It's just. When I got asked the question as soon as the fight was over and we're getting ready to go on the post show, like, who do you think won? Like, I think it was Whitaker. And then when it wasn't, then they're like, well, explain to us why. So I'm getting some shit too, because people are like, you have no idea what you're watching. You're a goddamn idiot. But that's how I seen it. And I guess that's the beauty and kind of the shit thing with our scoring system. Like, the beauty of the fight game is it looks different depending on who's watching. So I'm watching. Both of us have been in this game for a long time. I mean, how many fights between the two of us? How many years in this game?
Yeah.
And we're watching the exact same fight, and we see it two different ways. I think that's the beauty of the sport.
No, it really is, because as you say, from a wrestler, a wrestler will definitely score takedowns higher. A kickboxer is going to look for, kickboxing techniques and et cetera, et cetera. So that's why there is not a gray area, but it is almost subjective, to personal opinion, So, but there you go. I mean, listen, I thought it was a great fight. And I just thought Robert came up a little bit short. I wish him all the best. So I just did a live a minute ago on YouTube, and on there, somebody suggested this. Because I know Robert said, because he's a determined man. He's a talented fighter. And I have endless respect for him. And I hope that when he watches that back, I didn't say or my words offended him, because that would be the last thing I want to do. I have tremendous respect. I like Robert a lot. Izzy's a cocky bastard, But to be fair, he backs it up. He's got the it factor. He's got the charisma. Rob's a humble motherfucker. How can you not like and root for Robert Whittaker? Do you know what I mean? So that's where I stand. I do. And I even predicted him to win. So it's like, if I predicted him to win, I would be biased towards Robert a little bit, just based upon that, maybe. What was I going to say? I had a good point, but Anthony Smith, say something while I think. What was I going to say?
Well, you're going to talk about what Robert was going to do next. I think that's where you're headed.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. Yeah, no.
I'll keep this on the tracks.
Oh, God, we'd be fucked without you. No. He said, Izzy will be seeing me again. Right? And no doubt he could do that. He could rebuild, But somebody said, what about Robert going back down to 170 and fighting Usman? And I thought, whoa. See, that's an interesting possibility. I know making 170 is hard, and he got knocked out against Wonderboy, but it might not be a bad idea, listen, cutting weight fucking sucks. And he'd have to make some big changes. And going down to 170, it's probably very hard. There's a reason he came up to 185, and I'm a big proponent for people not doing those weight cuts. But I think for Robert, getting that third title fight against Izzy is going to be hard. And will it be any different if he does? Against Usman, I just really think he could get fast-tracked to a title fight down there. I don't mean instantly, maybe one good win, and he might get it.
That's what I was going to say. He'll get there faster, for sure. He'll get to a title fight at 170 faster, or at least have the opportunity to. He might only have to do it one time. I think that matchup is stylistically pretty intriguing.
Yes.
Yeah, I was actually trying to think. I was thinking of the other direction, because
going up.
That's that's kind of what I've been seeing, is people thinking he's maybe he should try out 205. I don't know.
He's not big enough. I don't think he's big enough. He really isn't. One of the first times I met Robert. But saying that, when you look at his stats, he's not that much smaller than me. But when you see him, his frame and the size
is different.
Yeah, he's just not. I mean, look at him against Adesanya. Adesanya looked absolutely gigantic in there, So in 10 minutes, or 8 minutes, we hopefully got Jared Cannonier fresh off that impressive victory. All right, support for Believe You Me is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Listen, at the end of the day, you're going to trim yourself up. You're going to be nice and neat. You're going to look fresh. You're going to be, looking good, and you're not going to hurt yourself. Okay. They obsess over their technology developments to make sure that you have the best tools for your grooming experience. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. So join the movement for all your grooming needs. Listen. This thing just gets better and better and better. If you've got the first generation, second generation, now we're talking about the fourth generation. It gets better all the time. The advanced skin-safe technology is always improving. This thing is premium. It's waterproof. It has an LED light. You can do it in the bathroom. They've also upgraded the 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology. And let's not forget about the charging stand. Listen, at the end of the day, you're going to trim yourself without hurting yourself. You're going to give a little facelift to your crown jewels without butchering it and looking like you've been attacked with a razor or a knife. You're slashing your balls if you do it regularly. Listen, Manscaped is the website, manscaped.com. Pardon me, Bisping 20 is the code if you want 20% off and free shipping. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code Bisping 20 at manscaped.com. That is 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and use the code Bisping 20. So what should we do? Should we talk about him for a minute, or should we do Tai Tuivasa and Derrick Lewis? Let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Come on. Give me your thoughts, Anthony.
Man, first of all, Derrick Lewis and Tai Tuivasa made me look like a fucking idiot on the post show.
But bro, you know, you picked fucking Robert to win. I mean, you said Robert would win. I'm a fool. You said this kid doesn't know what he's fucking talking about. Next minute, you're a fool. I don't know where we're going with this.
Yeah, they just, they kind of double crossed each other. Like, I'm expecting, I don't think anyone in the world thought there was going to be some technical fight where they were going to do some cage wrestling and shoot takedowns. But I thought it was a fantastic fight. I think it turned out to be more exciting because of that. But I expected them to come across the cage, walk each other down, throw bombs, and one of them was going to fall down. I didn't expect Tai Tuivasa to be able to take some of those shots he took from Derrick Lewis when he was on all fours trying to get back to his feet after Derrick Lewis hit him with a single leg and ran the pipe. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? But he took huge shots. He made it back to his feet. Fantastic finish. It's just, I don't know. I think Derrick Lewis ended up in a fight that was harder than he thought it was going to be. And you could kind of see that in the second round. He doesn't fight well backing up. Derrick Lewis has got to be moving forward. He's got to be throwing some funky shit to get people to the cage and kind of trap them a little bit and then start going off. But he just doesn't do well backing up. And you can always tell there's something wrong, whether it's mental, emotional, whether he's checked out, whether he's hurt to the body or whatever. The second he starts backing up, that's the beginning of the end for Derrick Lewis. Yeah,
absolutely right. I mean, look what he did against Dorcas when he goes forward, and Derrick does have the most knockouts in the UFC, but he's also, been to a decision against fighters that aren't the best fighters in the world as well, like Leo Latifi and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, Leo's a fucking tough guy. That's not what I'm saying, but he's not for it looking at title contention anytime soon. So I think a lot of people, myself included, you maybe buy into the hype a little bit too much. Don't get me wrong, I'm not taking away from Derrick, but Derrick Lewis is the Black Beast. He's got this persona. He's a big character. He's hilarious. He's very likable. And he's got the most knockouts in the history of the UFC. That's an incredible thing to have. Tai Tuivasa, though, he has to cut weight to make 265 as well. He's a big guy. He is also a knockout artist. And as you said, when he took those shots when he was on the ground, because I like Tai, right? And as a comment, how can you not like him? The man.
I felt bad after the fight. Once it was over, I sat there kind of in my chair thinking, man, what is wrong? I didn't even give him a chance.
Yeah.
I just felt kind of guilty about it. Like, I just, I think maybe you had a pretty good point there. Like maybe we buy into the Black Beast and the Derrick Lewis hype as far as his power goes.
Yes.
I think maybe I just believe in it too much. It has nothing to do with not thinking Tai was good enough or has the skills to beat him. It's just like when Derrick touches people, he puts them to sleep. And I guess I just didn't give Tai enough credit for his durability and his own toughness. And I almost felt like I wanted to walk up and give him an apology for just not giving him a fair shake at it, maybe.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people made that same mistake, probably myself included, because Tai hits just as bloody hard. He's knocked out his last 4 people in a row, and I just love the way, I think it was a takedown. He was trying to get back to his feet, and Derrick unloaded with those 4 shots or so from turtle position, powerful shots, flush to the face. And Tai Tuivasa, when he was down there, it wasn't anything technical or whatever. He just said, fuck this, I'm getting up. And he kind of punched his way back to his feet and then just went to work. And then that's when the brawl ensued. And as we know, that beautiful elbow. I mean, I never thought in a million years I would see Derrick Lewis face plant like that in Houston. And God, the poor guy, he had his wife and kids there for the first time.
They were right. They sit right behind me.
Oh, were they really? Oh God.
Yeah, it was so bad.
That's bad.
It was sad.
Were they upset?
I didn't want to stare, so I just kind of back to really just to see if they were okay.
Just pretend you're on the phone and oh hey.
Yeah, I just kind of just took a little peek over my shoulder, and they looked all right. They didn't look super happy, obviously, but they weren't crying or upset or his wife gets it. I think.
Yeah.
It's part of the game, especially at the heavyweight division and the way that he fights. Being Derrick Lewis's wife, you probably just got to know that there's a good chance that could happen.
Yeah, I don't want to clutch my pearl.
I don't want to clutch my pearls for Derrick Lewis either, because
what does that mean? Clutch your pearls?
I'm not gonna feel too bad for him because I've heard how much money he makes. So hey, it is
as I said before, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. But on that note, I remember I saw Matt Hughes versus Matt Serra the last time they fought. and I was ringside for it. And Matt Hughes got knocked out cold. And his wife was right next to me. Similar type of situation. She was really upset. She was crying and whatnot. And I turned around and I was like, he'll be all right. You know, we've all been there. I've been there. He'll be fine, you know, and I tried to make her feel better. And then Matt Hughes came up to me afterwards. Mike, thank you for saying those kind words to my wife. I said, oh, shit, thank you very much. So, and then we became best friends. By the way, Brian, play that now if you can. Because me and Anthony Smith, I think we just became best friends. Somebody sent something in to bympod@gmail.com. If you want to send it in. But Brian, do we have it? Can we have it? Are you there? Are you alive or are you dead? Hello?
Yeah, just 1 second.
I know. I caught you off guard. I apologize, but it just seemed like the perfect segue, you know.
Boys, looking for it. Oh, there we go.
Oh, here we go.
It actually came from the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Whoa, look at the shirt.
Oh, look at that. Hell
look
yeah.
at that. There we go.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Oh, dear. See, there you go. That was the perfect time to play that. So, yeah, Tai, God bless him. What an elbow. I felt sorry for Derrick. Feel sorry, that's not the right word. He doesn't want my pity, but I sympathized with him for what he went through. I saw Tai Tuivasa back at the bar afterwards. There's a picture of us together on my Instagram. So I had a quick beer with him. He was there with his crew, nice and mellow. And then I saw him in the morning when I was leaving to the airport, and he looked fine. He didn't look like a man that had almost killed himself by boozing the night before. I told him right then and there, I said, you're a star, man. There it is. I said, you're a star. Nice. I mean, from the moment his music came on in the octagon, everyone was dancing. The fight delivered. Who do you think he's going to get next?
Man, I don't know. I would like to see him. I mean, he just beat the number 3 guy in the world pretty clearly. Like, not, you know, he finished him. So, oh man, who's up there?
Well, I mean, they're talking about Jones versus Stipe Miocic, right? I mean, they've tweeted one another. Jones tweeted it. So if that happens, they're going to make that fight.
Yeah. I mean, is it Cyril Gahn? I mean, that's the next guy, right?
Has to be. I mean, there's not much else. I doubt he wants to go backwards. You know what I mean?
No, once you beat the number 3 guy, you gotta look forward as much as you can. But if I was him, I would look for who's Rosenstrike about to fight.
I don't know.
Rosenstrike has got a fight coming
does he have a fight booked?
Yeah,
he does.
A fight booked. I don't remember who it is right off the top of my head, but the winner of
Columbus,
that
Ohio
would be a good one. Just because I don't know. Like, I know he beat Derrick Lewis, but like, you don't want to jump right into like a Cyril Gahn fight. Like, if I was his team or his coach, I would like to, I don't know, take a couple more just to get moving. You know what I mean? And keep that momentum going.
Yeah, absolutely. And it sounds like we just got interrupted by the dental office there. Someone was getting drilled silly. I feel like that's Jared Cannonier. I mean, that guy never stops. He had a fight on the weekend, and now he's working on a construction site by the sounds of it, sawing up wood. That's Jared, but he's not up yet. Tai Burra is the next fight. Oh, thank you, Harrington. Harrington, show yourself, buddy. Jump on. Feel free to chime in here and there if you've got something worth mentioning. Welcome to the show. First time you've been on this episode, so we apologize. Harrington, you can jump in at any time, mate. You know that.
It's actually funny because I was thinking about it when you were talking about that vaping story, because I have personally
back up a little bit from the microphone. Yeah, there you go. It's just a little piercing.
I got you. I've personally been told by the flight attendants there will be police waiting for you at the gate, and they just were never there. I just booked it out of the airport, and nobody ever said another word about it to me. But
that's why you should chime in at the time, because we've moved on from that, Harrington. I apologize.
Yeah.
We are now involved in hardcore analysis.
Well,
we're not going back to tittle tattle at the top of the show.
In that case, Jorginho Rosenstrike's next fight is against Marcin Tybura. I'll talk to you guys later.
I think the winner there is probably a pretty good. I don't know. It's a good way to solidify kind of your spot. And I mean, the heavyweight divisions. I mean, if you fight Gahn, just say for whatever reason he ends up beating Gahn. I'm not going that far. I don't know if I would even pick that way. But if he did, now you're stuck. Now you're stuck. You're gonna have to fight backwards anyways, because you got the thing with Ngannou and then Jones and Stipe, and who knows, maybe Stipe beats John. Then what the fuck? Then what the fuck do you do? You kind of hung up.
Also, another potential I'd say would be the winner between Volkov and Tom Aspinall in London.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
The winner of that'd be a good one as well. Certainly for Tom Aspinall, there's a big.
He's got some options for sure.
Yeah. And I'm so happy for him. You know what I mean? Comes from Western Sydney. He's a fan favourite. He's great. I've never had a bad interaction, and he's always just been so kind of like Robert is. And that's the thing with Australians. Have you been to Australia?
Never. They got big ass spiders and shit, right?
Well, I've never seen one. I've been a few times. I've never seen anything dangerous. That's what everybody says. Yes, there's sharks. Yes, there's crocodiles and snakes and spiders and shit, but I've never seen anything. What I was going to say, though, is that the people are so laid back. They really are. And you can tell from the moment you land at the airport, when you're dealing with, like, the immigration officials, they're just so calm and chill. Like in the States, you're an American, so you probably don't get it, but fucking hell, you get spoken to like you're a criminal and you get interrogated. Why are you coming here? What do you want? Where's your return flight? You're not a fucking American. And you're intimidated from the get-go. Australia, oh, good eye, mate, how's it going? Yeah. They're calm as fuck. And you can see that with Rob and Tai. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's plenty of assholes in Australia as well. I'm married to one, in fact. But still, there you go.
I can hear you guys.
Oh, there we go.
There he is. Fresh off a fantastic victory over the weekend. We're going to get into all of that stuff. But, well, Jared, thank you very much, man, for taking the time. I do appreciate it. Obviously, you just had a big, massive win. You've got better things to do. But thanks for joining Anthony and I guess off the top, how are you feeling? What have you been doing since Sunday? That's the Saturday night part of me.
Yeah. Just hanging out with my family. My brother lives here in Houston, so I'm going to stay here in Texas for about 5-6 more days. So I've just been hanging out with my family. My wife and my children are here. My brother, my daddy, my other brother, my kids' cousins is here, so it's good for them to see that side of the family and see the similarities, because I'm seeing a lot of them between the kids. So I'm trying to get this camera
nice.
Right. But it's been good, seeing my family and just catching up. I guess it's been a couple of years since I've been back home, so I took the opportunity after the fight to stick around and see the fam.
So obviously a big win Saturday night, biggest win of your career. You're now probably going to fight Israel Adesanya, but just talk us through the fight from your perspective. Well,
Derrick was going to wrestle just like we thought he was. And he was successful in a few of his attempts, but he wasn't able to capitalize off of any of them. He wasn't able to do any good ground and pound. He almost slipped in that choke, but it wasn't really close. I rolled over to the side so I could start turning my body up, start turning into the choke. And so it's to defend that way and potentially get back on top, and may have ended the fight there. But as soon as I turned to the side, I saw the clock right there, and it was like 6-5, and I felt fine. So I just let the clock run out and got back to business in the second round. The first round was a lot of this man shooting. I mean, in the whole fight, he shot like 13 shots. But we knew he was going to shoot, and we were definitely planning on trying to defend every last one of them. That's always the goal. Perfection is the key, or is the goal. But, it didn't happen that way. It doesn't usually happen that way. So, but I felt fine. I felt not threatened at all. I didn't feel like I had to put myself in any hurry or in a rush to get up and do this and do that. I think I did everything at the right time, especially when it came to him putting me down the bottom. I did learn a few lessons. I let him get my leg up there super high at first, and I let him get in on my hips a lot.
It was impressive flexibility, though. I'll tell you that.
Well, thank you. We do. That is one of our warm-up drills. A guy will take your leg, and we pull him and drag him, and using the leg to working my balance, and some guys lift their leg up, work the flexibility while we're hopping and moving down. So it's a good takedown defense. A guy may get a hold of your leg eventually. You got to be able to stay on your feet and fight out of it and recover yourself. So wasn't able to, but it's all good. Lessons learned the hard way, I guess, trial by fire, which I'm accustomed to. Guys usually take me down in my career. But yet again, they're not usually successful in progressing towards the finish. So I'm happy in that regard. I'm happy I proved that to myself again, because I already knew that's what I'm capable of. I've said it on camera plenty of times. And come the second round, I just wanted to get my feet, get a little bit looser, bouncier in my feet, and give different looks as far as my striking. He was slower, so I knew the shots were going to come slow. I didn't have to worry about him too much, so I can open up a little bit. Derrick is a smart wrestler. He was still able to get underneath a lot of the work I was trying to put out on him. But he got close to me, and that's one less thing I got to do. Is as soon as we get close, I can capitalize off of it. And I showed that, hit him with that elbow, followed up with some nice, a few good combinations, put him on the ground, and finished him off. So it was a good night in the office.
Yeah, it was a fantastic night in the office, man. Man, going through those training camps when you know that you're going to fight, a guy like Derek Brunson. Listen, we all know there's not very many middleweights that are going to stand in front of you and play that game. It's just not, that's just the realization of it. So, like, what does that training camp look like? Like, how miserable were you just having to wrestle and make sure your cardio was on point?
It sucks.
It sucks. I hate it, but just talk about that for the people watching.
Well, as you know, wrestling is a very hard sport. One of the hardest in context to a lot of the other martial arts that we train, or at least the way that we train them. I don't know, but it's definitely hard. But it's fun. I've developed a love for it. In other camps where I had to fight wrestlers, and those camps were hard. But once you've done it once, I guess it's not as hard the second time. As long as you keep up with that training and keep that. It's more of a mental thing, if anything. The mind drives the body, and the mind has to know exactly what it has to do so that it can, tell the body that, hey, we got to be on. We can't be lazy. We got to be moving, progressing the whole time. So it's been fun for me developing that aspect of my martial arts, especially now that I've gotten a little bit better with it. I'm not like at the mercy of these wrestlers as much as I used to be. We still got some good wrestlers, and it still sucks when they get a hold of your legs and they're applying that pressure and they start climbing and they start wrapping your arms and legs up at the same time. And it gets bad, but it's fun nonetheless.
Well, sorry, go on. Pardon me.
No, that was it. I was just going to try to wax poetically about wrestling some more, but you go ahead.
I was going to say, staying on the wrestling thing, to be honest, as you say, 13 takedowns in round one. In round two, it was a very different approach from Brunson, and you hit him with something. I can't recall what it was. I'm sure you do. You hit him with a shot that changed everything. I mean, he did not want to wrestle. He didn't want to engage anymore. You could see it in his eyes. And I even said on the comment, I said, you can see it. He's a different fighter. The confidence was taken out of him. What shot was that? And when you landed it, because we all know as fighters, when you land a good shot, you get that feedback. When you connected with the shot, whichever it was, did you know, that was a good one?
I thought he was good at wearing a lot of the shots. His movements are a little labored throughout that whole second round. He was already exhausted from the pressure, as well as I was putting on him, as well as the pressure he was trying to put on me. And he had slowed down dramatically in that first round too. I had already felt that. But I think it was a right hook that I hit him with, and then I think it really started confusing him when I started going southpaw and working the lead hand from that position. He didn't like that too much. So all I know is that elbow was the start of that finishing sequence. That's the one that I remember most. It was a few shots. I think it was the uppercuts I was showing him. A few of them didn't land cleanly, but he definitely felt the threat of them. And I think it's sort of like an attack to his mentality, sort of like a genjutsu, if you will, for those who know about cartoons and anime and stuff. But it's sort of like a mind thing. That's
not me. I don't know anything about anime. Anthony Smith looked like he knew something, though. I saw you nodding there.
No, I know what he's talking about, though. Like you don't have to land it. Like with a wrestler, you don't have to land the uppercut. You just have to show the willingness to throw it. So it's just you just give him something to look at, something to worry about. I thought you did a great job with the feints too, man. Just constantly making him think. I think sometimes you can exhaust guys mentally faster than you can exhaust them physically. Where you could see there for a second, it's like he just said, "Fuck!" Like I can't figure it out. Like he's just constantly worried about the punches and the kicks and your movement, you're switching your stances, and he would get in on a takedown, and as soon as you would disengage, you'd come right back and be right in his grill. Yeah. That shit is stressful, and it was very much like one guy's leading this fight. The other guy's trying to keep up, and that's kind of how I seen it from the outside.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. That mind game, that aspect. That's why I say. I said it once in an interview, but I always hold to this. It's sort of like a mantra. I tell myself that when I get in there, I want to get bigger and bigger, and my opponent's going to get smaller and smaller. And that's a mental thing. That's a mind thing. They're going to start going backwards. They're going to start fighting on their heels. They'll start doing things out of character, doing things more out of reaction. That fight or flight response as opposed to a calculated, cognitive, strategic thing that they want to, game plan they want to impose or anything like that. So you're absolutely right, man.
The finish was absolutely brutal. I mean, those elbows, come on, so much power. They threw the corner in as well, and there we go. I mean, you're elbowing the phone by the looks of things. But I want to talk about one specific move that you did, and you mentioned it on the post-fight interview, which, by the way, you fucking killed it on the microphone, and we want to ask about that in a minute. But the backhand, you hit with the elbow, and then you go, you give him a little fucking bitch slap, little pimp slap. You know what I mean? And you said that on the microphone. I mean, that was awesome.
It felt awesome too, man. It felt good. No disrespect, it was just a weapon. It's a weapon, and that's more of, again, one of those psychological weapons. You hit somebody with a backhand, they can react one or two different ways. It can either be an effective shot, and I'm like, oh shit, I just got hit with a backhand. Maybe a double shot to the body into the ego, or it can make them mad, or make them want to get that one back. And then you can capitalize off of that. So it's mind games, and like I said before, I'm a cerebral fighter. It's not all about, trying as hard as you can,
Definitely a shot to the ego. I would try to get that one back and probably get countered for sure. And I'm not talking trash about it. I mean, I when I seen it, I was like, God damn, this guy's he's doing it all. What about the pressure kind of leading into this? I think everyone knew kind of what was at stake. There's a title shot hanging. You guys are kind of, you're playing co-main event to the title fight in your division. You got Sean Strickland out there that's kind of been on a run, and he didn't necessarily put on a performance that was going to be hard to surpass if you showed up. You know what I mean? If you go in there, you do what you do, you're exciting, you get a finish or whatever, you're probably going to jump him. Did you have a lot of pressure and stress? Because Israel Adesanya has brought your name up several times, and as a guy that he would like to fight. I mean, that's the writing is kind of on the wall there. So you got to win though. Was there a lot of stress leading into that morning?
No, that was definitely one of the things that I wanted to keep furthest from my priorities. My priorities was going in there performing the best of my ability. I wanted to come out with a flawless victory every time, but that's not the name. Definitely not the nature of the beast. So it is what it is, and I had a good time. It was fun. Yet again, I still got that love, that spark for it. So I can't wait to get back in the gym and learn from it and get better off of it. But no, there was no pressure about the potential for the future. I just knew that the potential was great, and it is up to me to make it as great as possible. So I like to go back to that old Uruguay proverb. What is it? The future is the past is history. The future is a mystery. But
right.
Now is the present.
Yep, now is the present.
Something
now
like
is a
that,
gift.
yeah.
That's why it's called the
present. There you go. That's it. Yeah. Well, it was a great stoppage. And now, it's no secret you're going to be next for Adesanya. And I think had you have just knocked him out the way that you did, you would have been getting that. But I tell you what, absolutely guaranteed it was that post-fight celebration and what you said on the microphone, because it was such a great moment. And as I was sitting there and you're going, Dana, look at me. And you're demanding that you get the next title shot. I mean, the entire world was glued to their TV at that moment in time. And I just got flashbacks to when George St. Pierre kind of did a similar thing. I mean, he got on his knees and said, he kind of begged for it. I'm not saying you begged for it. You did it. I'm just saying it was such a fucking great moment. And it reminded me of that one there. Did you go into that situation like with that kind of in the back of your mind, or were you just high on adrenaline and like just freestyling and saying what was on your mind?
That was pure freestyle. I don't rehearse my things, and if I did,
I didn't think so.
Tell, because I'm not a good actor at all. But you would definitely tell. I mean, no, I said exactly what I wanted to say at that moment. You know what I'm saying? I won the fight. It was the opportunity. Where was he? I wanted to tell him directly. I wanted him to look me in my eye. I wanted to look him in his eye. I wanted to make that connection because there's a lot of,
man to man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Apparently people believe that I got to get on the social media and I got to do a whole bunch of memes and do a whole bunch of stuff that's in order to get the thing, you know what I'm saying? But I'm very direct as a person, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I feel. And I'm going to say it in a minute so you can get how I feel about it. So it's, I like to talk with passion it's not anger or aggression or anything. You'll know if it's anger or aggression because the situation will call for it. But it's passion. And I was telling Dana, you know what I'm saying, that, hey, I'm next. And that's just how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? As a fan and as the fighter, when I look at the middleweight division, when someone was to say, who do you think should get the next title shot? I would say Killer Gorilla, speaking from a fourth person point of view. So, yeah, man, that's it.
Yeah, I don't think you need social media. You keep knocking people out like that, there's going to be no fucking choice. You're going to be next. Do you know when, does that date, what did Israel say? There wasn't a main event in June, I think is when he said it. I mean, does that work for you? I mean, are you just ready whenever?
I'm ready whenever, but, 4 months, I can get ready for anything in 4 months.
100%.
So anybody in 4 months, especially if I know who it is already, come on.
4 months is a long time. We're all having camera issues. Don't worry, Jared, because I just touched mine with my hand and I went from being yellow. I look like a Simpsons character, and now I'm back to being, like the Caucasian I am. But I did look like a real life Simpsons character. My God. So obviously, hey, tell me this: after you watched after you had your fight, did you watch the main event backstage? And if so, what did you make of it? How did you score that fight?
I couldn't watch it to the point to where I can score it, to be honest. Yeah. We were in transition from interview to interview and stuff. I got to see the majority of it, but I had just sat down. I hadn't even had time to collect myself from my own fight, so I couldn't even watch it with that sort of analytical mind. Sit back in a calm setting, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again. Would definitely, off the top of my off the top, I would say that given the atmosphere, you know what I'm saying, popular opinion, whatever you want to call it, the general consensus is that you have to take the title, emphatically do it like for me, like how it's felt as far as earning the title. They don't want you like eke out decision after decision to earn a title shot. They want you to go out there and take the title shot. So I feel like it's the same as far as beating a champion. But the margin, that margin, that like those two guys, they're like right there neck and neck as far as, the skill level, you know what I'm saying? So it's
right.
In those fights, people aren't going to be excited to see those very small nuances that there's very little margin of error in this game already. And at the highest level with those two guys at that level, it's not going to be it ain't going to be, kung fu finishes every damn time. So, again, I'm going to have to go back, watch it. And I'm going to learn from it because those two guys are arguably the two best middleweights. They are the top of the middleweight as far as the numbers go. If you would ask me what I think in my mind, I'll tell you something differently, but we're not going there.
No. But what do you think in your mind? Please.
Man, come on now. You already know what I'm saying. I think that I'm the best at everything. Whether I am or not. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm entitled to mine. Yeah. And, to be honest, I'm working on making that. Never mind. Let me.
No. But that's the attitude you're supposed to have, Jared. Because yes, he's an incredible champion, and it's going to be a tough fight. We know that he's pound for pound one of the best people on the planet. But I do believe that your kind of style is what is needed. You need somebody because we've seen people try to out-wrestle him on many occasions. I mean, Yoel Romero's a sensational wrestler. Robert is a talented wrestler. You know what I mean? But that approach, and I'm not saying, well, Jan Blachowicz took him down and that was a big factor in winning that fight. But it seems that going in with the wrestling heavy approach isn't the way to beat him. And I think, he's not Superman. He's not Superman. You got to stand there toe to toe. You got to pressure. You got to take away his length, take away his reactions. You got to use a lot of head movement, and you got to be ballsy enough to stand there and fucking fight the guy on the feet. And that is how you essentially win all your fights. I mean, that's what you do. That's your style. So I look forward to it when it happens.
Yeah, I definitely think fighting a guy like Izzy again is going to take you're going to have to be more up here, as opposed to, you know what I'm saying. You can definitely win it out, gut out a fight with him. Look at Gaslam. He damn near gutted out a fight against him. Look at and even Vettori. You know what I'm saying? He put up a good fight. But I think you have to be
for me, I think I consider myself a cerebral fighter. I think it's a thinking game in there. And I'm sure Izzy's going to approach it the same way. He's going to try to figure me out. But my mind is rock solid. He ain't going to be able to get in there. And he may catch me a few times. He just might. It's actually guaranteed he may catch me. But again, that's the nature of the beast. I'll take a few shots just to learn. I'll learn something, and then I'll turn those couple of shots right up. I'll turn them against you. So that's one way of winning. But I feel that the supreme fighter, the one who can mix it up without giving you that, without you knowing what's happening. You think we're going to strike, you get blasted off your feet. You start thinking we're going to wrestle, you getting punched in the face, kicked in the leg, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's another way to win a fight, especially against a guy at that level. You know what I'm saying? Taking over that mental game and not letting him establish his mental games, not letting him play his mental games, and letting all that stuff wear on you. So it's going to take a whole lot to make it happen. I'm not saying that I got the answer, I got the key, and this is exactly what's going to work.
Yeah.
But my mind is I'm on the job. So I'll say that much.
Last one before we let you go. Oh, and again, thanks for your time, Jared. Really appreciate it. I know after a fight, it's hectic. You're catching up with family and all the rest of it. So we do appreciate it. Thank you very much. What's the next few weeks look like? You're down in Texas. You're catching up with family. Just going to take some time off from the gym and enjoy life for a little while. Oh, and by the way, I don't know, did you get a performance bonus? I would have thought so.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did get a performance bonus.
Nice. Congrats.
So yeah, I got 3 checks. Saturday.
Oh shit, that's right. You said, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm happy about that. What's the next future looks like? Well, I'm gonna be hanging out with family. I'm gonna eat some of this good old food that's here, but not too much of it because it's already taking effect on me, man. Not having that shit for so long, and you come back to it, it's like, it don't feel good. You know what I'm saying? You realize what you're doing to yourself when you and then you try to go back. It's not too good. So
I was just gonna say on that note, as we know, you started as a heavyweight, then a light heavy, now you're down at middle. Last question, I promise, and then we'll let you go. How much of a challenge is that? Because does your body want to be bigger, and it's a constant battle, or is your kind of body adjusted to the current weight that you're at? Like, for example, what do you think you weigh right now, and where would you be after a week of good eating?
I'm probably about 205 right now.
That's all right. Yeah, that's fine.
That's okay.
But actually, that's a lot. I'm probably about 210 because I'm sure my colon is packed to the brim. I can feel my colon's back there. That's
rightly so.
That's going to be the one thing that's going to keep me from continuing eating is that feeling right there alone.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be smarter about it this time. I'm not going to just stuff my face like a mindless freaking zombie or anything. But
I say that every time.
Me too.
I say it every time, and every time I fucking fail.
Yeah,
I stepped on the scale a couple days ago, and it said like 237. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, man.
Get your life together.
You're right there at the edge, Anthony. You're right there.
Yeah, I know. God damn, why did I do this to myself?
230. That's a heavyweight, Anthony. Come on.
That is a large light heavyweight. That's what that is.
But I'm gonna be here. Yeah,
that's not a bad size heavyweight.
Yeah, I'm gonna be here for a couple more days, and I want to get back in the gym next week because my body responds to my lifestyle. And if I don't train, and if I fuck around and do all the dumb shit and eat everything, as a matter of fact, it doesn't matter what I eat. If I don't work it off, it won't. You know what I'm saying? It'll stay. So my body's definitely accustomed to me working. So I definitely found the right thing to do with this vessel, which is mixed martial arts, martial arts in general. So that's what the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna get back into training. I'm gonna stay in shape because I definitely have a title fight coming up soon. So I'm gonna start getting ready now. Why wait? I don't have
wait. Why wait?
I don't have fight camps. I have life camp. So every day it's about going in there and getting better. And again, now the fact that I already have a name in the crosshairs, I don't have to be like, who can we train for? What can we do? Are we doing something that's not even that we can apply to our opponent. That's what it's going to be about. So it's going to be fun.
I love what you said just then. My body, what was it? Resembles your lifestyle.
Responds
Yeah.
to and resembles. Yeah, that too.
Yeah. That is so true. That's a great saying. I mean, it's so obvious now you mention it, but that's exactly what it is with everybody. Your lifestyle pretty much determines what your body's going to be. Jared, congratulations, my friend. Thank you again for joining us. All the best, and we'll do this again soon, hopefully. Thank you very much.
Good.
Congrats, brother.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, congrats. All right, buddy.
Before I go, big shout out to my sponsor, Thrival.
Oh, of course, please. What else? Please go ahead, man.
Yeah. Big shout out to Thrival. You know what I'm saying? I've been working with them for almost a year now, and I take that board with me to all my fights. It's definitely wonderful to have, keep my body nice and primed to do what I just did this past Saturday. Shout out to Clover Canine for looking after our dogs and training our dogs while me and the family are over here in Texas enjoying Texas. And shout out to the Crystal Council for always hooking me up with some good energized stonework and bowl work. They hooked me up with some good stuff, some clothes, some meditation. I still have that meditation pillow they gave me like 2 years ago. I use it for so much stuff, and it's helped my flexibility out as well. So I use that thing for a few good things. So shout out to those three.
Awesome. All right, well, listen, we'll let you go. Thank you once again. Congratulations. Enjoy the little bit of time off. Enjoy the family. Enjoy the food. And we'll see you soon.
Peace out, guys. Thank you.
My man. There he is.
Such a nice guy.
The nicest. He's
a deep thinker, too.
Yeah.
I really like guys that think that they just have like this. It's not just this brainless, mindless killing machine. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I like guys who think even if you disagree with something they say, or you're like, I don't get that. Like, but his mind's always moving. It's cool to listen to.
Yeah, no, as I said, I like what he said there. My body resembles my lifestyle. And then there was another one. He said, this is not fight camp, it's life camp. And and that's a good one. We've had him on a couple of times before. He's a deep guy. He's an intelligent man, very, very smart. So thank you, Jared Cannonier. Can't wait for that fight. It's an interesting one, because I said, just quickly, I guess going back to the main event real quick, I said as he was walking in, I said, if he wins this fight and if Izzy wins, then he'll be fighting for the title next. So I said, no, whoever wins this, if Izzy wins, we'll fight Izzy next. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people thought I was being biased, saying, oh, I already have Izzy winning. So no, that doesn't apply to Rob. If Rob had have won, they would have done a trilogy.
Yeah, they got to do it again.
So that's what I'm saying. That only applies. The winner fights for the belt if Izzy wins. Because if Rob wins, I doubt that would have happened. Maybe I'm wrong, but who knows? All right, let's just hear from Choq. That is CHOQ.com. Listen, everybody's testosterone level, if you're a man, is going down. Okay, they actually drop by 1% per year, which is crazy. And most men's the actual level of testosterone around these days is half of what it used to be in the 1970s, which is crazy. And that is where Choq's products come in. Choq Daily is the cleanest research-based testosterone booster available. The main ingredient is purified shilajit, which is a thing that they source from the Himalayan mountains, and it actually translates to the destroyer of weakness. Shilajit has helped men restore and maintain their vitality for over 5,000 years. Choq's Shilajit is clinically studied to boost total testosterone in healthy adult males by 20% in 90 days. It supports healthy hormone systems. It promotes endurance and enhances healthy inflammation response. Choq has another product, Tongat 100, which is clinically studied to boost free testosterone levels 87% in 21 days, and all natural water purified 100 to 1 extra. Very powerful stuff. Okay, so listen. If you feel like you need a boost, if you feel like your libido is waning, if you're not making the gains, you're dieting but you can't lose fat, it's probably because your testosterone levels are dropping as you get a bit older. You get into your late 30s, you get into your 40s, certainly 50s and 60s. You need to boost that, baby. Okay, go to choq.com, CHOQ.com. Use the code Bisping. Why? Because you're going to get 50% off your entire order. It's a massive deal. Choq.com, get the Shilajit, okay? Get the Choq Daily, improve your testosterone, blow the socks off your wife, lose fat, feel energized, feel great, and use the code Bisping at Choq.com for a massive 50% off your order. Okay, where were we? Darren Till should be joining us any minute. I'm going to text this son of a bee.
Yeah,
See
this
where he's
goddamn
at.
guy.
God
Yeah, I said on the post show that I think Cannonier creates an interesting problem for Israel, especially given his last couple fights. I'm not saying that Izzy's he's fighting a very safe, intelligent. He reminds me a lot of John, where he's shutting people down.
The recent John.
Yes, yeah. He's almost. I don't know, it's like he's become okay. But I'm just going to stay a little bit ahead. Old John used to chase shit, and he's super dynamic and would do a bunch of crazy shit. His lifestyle, I think, was just a little bit wild, and that translated to his fighting career. I don't know. I don't know. It seems like he took more chances earlier. And I'm not criticizing him. Listen, the guy's a goddamn champion of the world, and he's winning fights. But he's had a couple close ones that maybe the biggest knock on him is his activity levels, his output. I don't think a guy like Cannonier, you're going to be able to just sit back and chill. He's
physical. He's a physical guy.
He's fast.
Big.
He's explosive.
Yes.
I mean, even Robert Whittaker, I think I had a quote on the post show, like they were kind of giving me shit because I was kind of saying, like, here's how I seen it for Whittaker. I said, listen, if we're talking about whose head was snapping back more, it wasn't Robert Whittaker's. During that fight, it was Izzy that, was getting his chin lifted up in the air with those hard jabs more often than I seen it happen to Whittaker. You do that too many times with Jared Cannonier, he's going to shut your lights out. You can't let him touch you that many times. So it's an interesting matchup. I don't know who wins that.
No,
we'll get into the breakdown, but it's interesting.
Yeah, and it's too soon to do that, but I'm very much looking forward to it because it is somebody new. It is somebody new, and I think that makes it really interesting and probably exciting for Izzy as well. So he'll probably rise to the occasion. You said something there about John Jones and Izzy, how they've kind of playing it a little bit safe. Certainly Jones was wrecking everybody, and then the last few fights, as you said, there's a good possibility that people think he lost them. And it just made me think, because look at George St. Pierre, he kind of did the same thing as well. He was running through people, and then you become the champion, and then you've got all this pressure, you know what I mean? You get this lifestyle, and you're getting the extra money and all the and you're the champion of the world. You want to hang on to that. And I think subconsciously it does affect people and the way they fight. And it's only natural because, as I said, there's so much resting on that. If you lose that belt, your entire life as you know it changes pretty fast. You know what I mean? The championship lifestyle is one thing. The former championship lifestyle is still good, but it's not the same as the champ. You ain't the fucking champ.
But that didn't happen to you, though.
No, it didn't. I didn't have it for long enough.
Do you think that there's a timeline for that? Like,
well, it seems to be when people, and I've only got 3 examples for you, but when they defending the belt many times, you know what I mean? Like Izzy's done it 5 times or 4 times. Hey, what do you think of that? Just going off on a tangent there. He beat Anderson Silva, I think, for the interim title, right? And then when he fought Robert, it was for the undisputed. He classes that as a title defense, so he says it's 5. But a lot of people say 4. I think Izzy's out of his mind. I don't class 4. That. I think it's 4 as well. The interim title is the number 1 contender. Darren, what do you think about that? Mr. Darren Till, once again, coming at us from the dark, mean streets of Liverpool. But right now, we're going to get brightened up. It's the battle of the Veneers. Anthony Smith, Michael Bisping, and Darren Till. Whose smile can shine the brightest? Give us a smile. Give me a big smile, Darren. Give me a big smile, Darren.
Hello.
The battle of the Veneers. Let's go.
Come on, lads.
What's up?
What's happening, Anthony?
How are you? What are you doing? You leaving the gym?
No, I'm just going, oh my God, police. Give me 1 minute there, please.
It's never a dull moment when Darren's on. There's always something going on. There's always some issue. He's always going McDonald's. I know.
That coat.
He looks like fucking Izzy at the weekend.
No, What's
going on?
This is a $5.99. Like, this is $5.99.
From Asda.
I'm going to get some milk for the kids.
That's what. Whenever you do the podcast, you always use it as an excuse to go like run a little errand or go get a McDonald's or something.
Come on.
Hey, Darren, let's ask you this off the top. What do you think about that fight at the weekend, the main event? How did you score it?
You know what, Mike? I know we were speaking before on the phone. Personally, it was I thought it was very, very close. I've actually watched it twice back now, just to like, go through rounds, each round. It was close, man. I mean, some people could say it was for Whittaker, some could say for Izzy. I don't like this storyline of like, you've got to do enough to beat the champ. I feel like if you win a fight, you win a fight. Regardless of who's the champion, something like that. But it was a close fight, man. It wasn't the most exciting. I thought Rob was a little bit standoffish, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. That's very much sitting on the fence. You answered it. You sounding like a fucking politician these days. What's going on, Darren?
I agree with what he said because I think Michael Eaves said something on the desk too about, well, if you want to beat the champ, you got to beat the champ. Like, no, the fuck you don't. You got. It's
a mathematical equation.
Yeah, you got to
have the rounds. You add the fucking points up. It's as simple as that. I didn't want to disagree with Jared because I kind of get what people mean. Meaning you got to take the fight to the champ.
Yeah.
But whatever.
That's how I look at it. Like if you're in a foot race in a 50-yard dash, you don't got to go 70 when the champion's only got to go 50. That's bullshit.
100%. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So Darren, what's going on, mate? I know we've chatted, so I won't say too much. You know what I mean? But you're not fighting on UFC London. I would have thought you were definitely going to be on there. Is it still the knee giving you a problem?
Yeah, I don't like to talk about my injuries, Mike. I feel like I'm, giving off excuses, but
injuries happen in this game, Darren. Injuries happen, so there's no problem talking about it.
I just don't like to ever discredit my opponents. Or I lost because of this thing and that thing. I've always been very fair, when I lose fights and win fights. But yeah, I sat down with my coach, Mike, and we actually we got a new contract off the UFC, which was a good contract, and that another 4-fight contract. I think it was 4 or 5. And they were talking about UFC London, and my coach was all for it, and I was all for it. But then, like, when I sat back and thought, I just thought to myself, I've done the UFC, like last year, I've done the UFC like a favour with that main event. Like last year, obviously everyone knows I had to pull out of the Marvin Vettori fight. I broke my collarbone, and then obviously I had, something happened before my fight with Derrick, not taking nothing away from him. And I only done that main event, and it was a big favour for the UFC. And I just feel like I don't want to be doing favours for any other cunt no more, mate. I want to do myself favours. And even watching that fight the weekend, when I had my fight with Whittaker, I know I'm close to gold. Not so close now, but I know. With the right mindset and like my body being right and the training being right, and I know I can touch gold, mate. So I just didn't want to take the fight on like 85% or what. I just want to come back when I'm, incredibly 100%.
How far out do you think that is?
I don't think it's far. When I stayed in Vegas after my fight with Derrick, I can't thank the UFC team enough. Heather, and shout out to all the guys there, Bo. But a guy at Syndicate MMA, I don't know if you guys know him, John Muddy, like the head coach there, he looked after me so well, and he got his like other company to get me some stem cell shots in my knee, and it worked a treat. So I've been speaking back and forth with him, maybe getting some more over here. So I'm not far off a return. Like I just want to be 100% when I come back.
And by the way, you don't have to explain that, Darren. You know what I mean? You're still a young guy. We've had this conversation many times. You don't want to go in there half-cocked, 85%, 80%, 90%. It wants to be 100%. And certainly, you've had a couple of mixed results recently against the top competition. No fucking shame in that. We've had this discussion many times. I'm not here to blow smoke up your ass. But why wouldn't you? I mean, you've got a fucking MCL partial tear or whatever it is. Why wouldn't you do that?
Oh, my ACL is torn in my right knee and my MCL is torn in my left knee. So
right.
Every fighter's knees are fucked up. It's not, and we're all injured, bro. We're all we're all the same. It doesn't matter. I just want to be a little bit less injured next time if I, you know what I mean?
Well, if you could at least start a training camp closer to 100, that'd be great. By the time you get to the end of it, we're all fucked. But we want to start.
No, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think that's what you're talking about, Darren. Yeah, we all often go into the octagon without injuries. Yeah. You don't want to start a training camp with the fucking injuries. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I know that. Like, I know Derrick was injured in our fight, and I know I think every time we fought our opponents in the UFC, both of us have had injuries. it's the injury show, you know, like we're all got these injuries. It just, as Anthony said perfectly, I'd like to start the camp like with no injuries and then go into the fight with injuries, sort of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, new injuries. Let me ask you, when you watched that Saturday, you fought Robert, tremendous fight, very strategic, very, very close. We all came down to that little bit of a takedown in the 5th round. When you saw that on Saturday night, and you saw how close it was, because it was close. Anthony scored it for Robert. I scored it for Izzy. Yeah. But it was fucking close. It was. And we're splitting hairs realistically when it comes down to it. That must have given you a lot of inspiration, Darren. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, it does, Mike. It does a lot. I know a lot of people are saying right now, like, Izzy's the king, which he is. And you know, Rob's ahead of everyone else. But, you know, I strongly disagree. Like, as I said, I seen Rob do. It's funny because I seen Rob do an interview last week, and I seen Izzy's coach, and they both still name me. Like, Izzy's coach says he still wants to fight with me, which is, you know, incredibly humbling for him to say that, even after me coming off, you know, 2 losses back to back. And I know Rob said that I was his hardest fight he's had by the champ. So it does give me a little bit more motivation and inspiration. You know, if I work that little bit harder, smarter, and I've got the right people around me, you know, I can definitely beat the both of them. And I know for a fact, you know, if I come in with the right fight against Rob, I wouldn't change things up much against him. If I fought Rob again, I'd probably just be a little bit more active. Like, there was some times in the fights where, like, he was throwing that signature kick and I was moving out the way, but I wasn't, like, I wasn't making him pay for the miss. I was sort of just, like, being, haha, you missed, which is, Nate Diaz does the same thing. Like, he makes people miss and then laughs at them. Like, that's all good and well for the show, but why am I not, like, making you pay? Like, there's a rule in Muay Thai, you know, when you do that to someone, you lean back, you make them pay for the miss, and just some things like that. And even me and my coach Colin talked about it after the Whittaker fight. We were like, you know, why are you standing there? Okay, you've made him miss and look stupid, but why is he not paying for the miss? So, you know, a lot to revisit, but it's the fight game, mate. You know, sometimes it's the game's made up of inches and we fall short, but it definitely does give me a lot of incentive to know that, you know, I'm 29, I've got another 8 years left, and I can definitely touch gold. I know that 100%. So, you know, a lot of people can disagree, but as long as you know in your heart of hearts.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think that's half the battle, is just being able to just look at that, and sometimes I have a hard time, and I'll look at these, you know, the losses, and I can't even watch it. Like, God damn, you fucking idiot. But accepting it and just putting it out there, that's half of it. But I guess since you don't know when you're coming back, is there like what's your plan to come back? Like, so I took those back-to-back losses to Rakic and Glover. Took those 2 back-to-back losses. The UFC wanted to kind of throw me back in the deep end right away. And I don't even call it a bitch move or not.
That's what they do. I took a step back. Boys, welcome to the world of being one of the best fighters on the planet. That's what fucking happens. No easy fights. Sorry, Anthony, go ahead.
Yeah, well, and there's no easy fights at all. But, you know, I think that it just happened to work out that I took a step back and I fought some guys that were lower down in the rankings. And it wasn't the plan. That's just how it worked out. But I kind of got my mojo back a little bit. I started being in fights where I didn't feel so uncomfortable all the time, where you're like you don't want to move because you know you're about to get fucked up if you make a mistake. So are you I'm not saying you're looking for easy fights, but are you wanting to maybe not be the draw, not be the big name, and just be a guy on the card that's just trying to fight and get paid and get the fuck out of there?
Yeah, I would love to. I mean, I've had like 8 or 9 main events now, and you know, we've got Tom Team Carbon doing like Team Carbon's 10th main event. It's, you know, it's historical, it's nice stuff. But I would love to just like have a 3-round fight on, like just open the main card and just see what it's like to be back on. Like every fight I've had now since Cowboy has just been main events, and it's like I understand the UFC, you know, what they see in me, his potential and star like, but. Yeah, I would love to just get back in there and, you know, fight a 3-rounder, get comfortable again, you know, beat the Darren Till. Like, I swear to God, years ago, you can speak to my coach, I thought I was fucking indestructible. I used to say, I can't be killed, I can't be beaten. I know I've still got that deep down inside me. I just need to, as you said there, Anthony, find it again and, you know, be comfortable again.
You just mentioned Tom Aspinall there. Oh, Big Tom, big fight. Main event, first time in front of a crowd. He talked about that. How's he looking? And are you going to be in London? But how's he looking in the fight? And yeah, talk to me about Tom for a minute.
so sharp, mate. Like honestly, it's a beauty to watch. You come in the mornings and he's doing his his routine pads with Coach Colin, and you see him sparring. Like we brought in a technical Muay Thai guy last week, 6'5", to spar with him, and
nice.
Not to discredit any of these guys. He's just, I mean, me and Tom don't really spar much anymore. We just know each other to a T. It's like we don't even throw shots anymore, so it's pointless sparring. But it's just like how fast and quick he is, and like his thinking. He's honestly his striking, even his whole game, but his striking is just like it's impeccable. Honestly, it really is, and it's a beauty to watch. And I'm sure, I'm very confident that Tom's probably going to be the next British champion before anyone else. He's just on a roll, and his confidence, his humbleness, not to discredit Volkov, but I think he's going to finish Volkov in the first round. From what I'm seeing, training-wise, he's so motivated. He's in every day, he's training hard. He's getting pushed by the right people, and I just want him to do well, mate. That's all. As a friend, mate.
No, of course. And can I just touch on his ground game? Because I know he did jiu-jitsu for a long time since a kid, and his father was a grappler. But when you roll with him, does he have legit jiu-jitsu as well?
Yeah, he's legit, mate. Trust me, he's legit. As I say, he's been a Team Carbon now since I think he was 13 or 14. He's trained jiu-jitsu with his dad, Andy, all his life. He's obviously a black belt, and he's trained under Colin. He's a legit. He's just legit, mate, and I'm sure we're going to see it in every fight going forward. It's just when the bigger fights come along, we're going to see a lot more of him. See how he handles it, which is what you need.
What an opportunity to be a heavyweight and be Tom Aspinall right now. Like you got, there's Tai Tuivasa floating around out there, with a big win and no one to fight towards the top. That's a great opportunity to get a win and call a big name too.
Yeah, I just told him to stay away from Ngannou.
Yeah, I think everyone's staying away from Ngannou.
Yeah.
Hey, here's what I want to know. We'll let you go in a minute, mate. And as always, Darren, you're the fucking man. You're going to be in London and we're going to catch up there?
Yeah, of course, mate. I'm going to be in London. I can't wait for it. It's going to be good to watch from the sidelines rather than being there. It's a stacked card. I'm looking forward to every single one of them. I'm going to be there from the first fight watching as a fan, as I'm sure you two are as well.
So block asset, lads.
The block asset in the house, brother.
There we go. What was I going to say? Yeah, where are you going, right? Where are you going in the bathrobe? Because what happens now if you get pulled over by the busies, the police for the Americans, if you get pulled over and you get out, you're in your underpants and a bathrobe, you're looking like a sight. You're going to be the front page of the Sun straight away, or the Daily Mail or whatever the fuck it is. Where are you going in a bathrobe?
Mike, we don't speak about the Sun.
I know, that's why I said the Daily Mail. I know you don't like it. I know, or the fucking Star then.
So I've basically got an excuse to come and do your podcast. I've drove about 50 stores while I'm speaking to you, so I'll be getting milk from the way. And I'd say I'm going to get milk, probably get some sweeties and chocolate for myself, and life's good.
What are we saying? Semi-skimmed, whole milk? What do you do?
Semi-skimmed all day, every day, Mike. Green top.
Yeah. And then now, sorry, we're having a very British conversation here.
Super
Anthony.
British conversation going on right now. You guys are fucking British as fuck right now.
Yeah, I know. So when you're talking about milk and you got me thinking about cereal. What is your cereal of choice, Darren? Because I'm a fucking Weetabix.
Cereal of
Weetabix
is crunchy nut clusters.
Wow, they are good.
Life change.
Jesus Christ.
Have you had those, Anthony?
No.
Crunchy nut clusters? No, they're good, man. They're like crunchy nut cornflix, but yeah, they're nice.
Do they have crunchy nut clusters in the States?
But listen to this, Anthony. I buy Lucky Charms. They are £10 a box here. Do you know how expensive that is? Like, I don't know how much they are in the States.
That's $14.
Oh, wow. Shit. Lucky Charms are fantastic, though. Now we're speaking my
I've never had a bowl of Lucky Charms in my goddamn life. I haven't. They just look like sugar.
Oh, they are, and that's why they're good.
You don't like me as well, Mike. You take all the Cheerio bits out, and you just have the Charms. The pure sugar.
Yeah,
what about? Tell me, are you a Shreddies man or no?
No.
Oh, fuck off! Shreddies are brilliant.
Oh, Shreddy. I knew you was a Shreddies guy because you're a boring man, so you're like, yeah.
Fucking Shreddies are the shit. What's your favorite cereal, Anthony?
Oh man, probably I'd probably go Cocoa Pebbles. I'm a
Cocoa
chocolate
Pebbles.
guy.
I've seen
Yeah,
them
fuck it
in
up.
the States. Yeah, they look like a winner as well.
Yeah, they're
Listen,
good.
if I was a boring guy, then my cereal of choice would be shredded wheat. Let's be honest.
Shredded
No,
wheat.
not that you're a boring guy, Mike. You just, I don't know.
I think he's saying you're bland and vanilla.
You seem like the guy to schedule sex in with your wife. It doesn't just happen.
I do. As you talk shit, I say, so can we get a bit of rumpy pumpy in tonight, darling? She's like, as long as you never call it rumpy pumpy, then we can have a do.
I just say to my missus, right, bend over, open your hole. Come on, let's go.
Hey, Beck, come here. Beck, come here real quick. Come here.
Does that work?
No, it doesn't.
No.
Put this in real quick. Say hello to Darren. Come in here.
Where am I?
Oh, no.
Hi, Darren.
He just said that I look like the type of guy that schedules sex with my wife. And what do I say?
What do you mean?
What do I say? Do I schedule it?
I don't know what to say.
A bit of rumpy pumpy.
Oh yeah, you do. Disgusting. I'm like, this is.
I mean,
So
if you want to show us a preview now, no one's bothered.
Okay, I gotta go get Lucas.
All right, there we go.
Out of here.
All right, bye.
Okay,
Love you, babe. She says, I don't know what to say. She's very rarely.
She was
lost
afraid
for
to tell the
words.
truth.
Oh, yeah. I thought she gave me a dirty look there. Then I just had to give her a thumbs up off camera, going, like, "Are we good? Are we good?" She's like, "Yeah, we're good."
You got to keep it on the schedule. We're still good, right?
I'm in for a right bollocking when she gets back.
Yep.
Well done, Darren. All right then, mate. Well, listen, I know you're driving around for the sake of it. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Oh, she's coming back. Oh no, she forgot a drink. I thought, oh fuck, she's gonna give me a slap. Darren, we love you, mate. We do. I love you, buddy. Can't wait to see you back in the octagon, but I'll see you in London in a few weeks, mate.
Yeah, good to see you, Anthony, and good to see you, Mike. Thanks, boys, for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, good to see you, man. Take care.
All right, buddy. Take care, mate. There he is. Two good guests back to back.
That guy. Love that guy.
He's fucking hilarious. He is, Mike. You're just a bit bland. You're just a bit boring.
Yeah. So you just schedule sex with your wife.
Yeah. Well, I don't rape her. That's for sure. It's a discussion. All right, let's just hear from BetterHelp. Okay, BetterHelp offers professional counseling done securely online. So if you feel like there's something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals, definitely check out BetterHelp. A lot of people have a lot of problems, a lot of mental problems, a lot of doubt, a lot of insecurities, a lot of anger issues, like myself. Most people, if you speak to somebody, certainly if they're a licensed professional, then it's going to help out big time. Listen, BetterHelp is not a crisis line. It is not self-help. It is professional counseling done securely online, and BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches. So it's easy and free to switch counselors if needed. You can send a message to your counselor at any time, and you'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. So it's the perfect way to do therapy during the pandemic, and you don't have to go sitting in an uncomfortable waiting room anytime in the near future. Okay, take control of your mental health, discuss your problems, try and work out why you're such an angry bastard. Whatever it is, BetterHelp will help. So go to betterhelp.com/believe, join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. BetterHelp.com/believe. That is BetterHelp.com/believe to get 10% off your first month. One more time, BetterHelp.com/believe, 10% off your first month. Good luck on your journey. Okay, where were we? Anyway, right, well, I guess we'll finish off with some questions. Mr. Brian McKay and Harrington, jump on, boys. We haven't seen you for a while. It's not really an episode of Believe You Me without you two, so are you there? Hi, Brian.
Hello.
Look at the head of hair on Brian, Anthony. Do you realize how grandiose it is?
It is fantastic.
Yeah, man, it's really my only good quality, to be honest.
Well, you got drugs. We know that.
Hey, man, I don't know. That is neither confirmed nor denied by any party here.
All right.
How you doing, Harrington? You good, buddy?
I'm great, man. I was just enjoying the interview with Cannonier and Till back to back. It's that was a nice Valentine's Day intro for Rebecca, by the way. That was real solid.
Oh, yeah. Happy Valentine's Day. You're absolutely right. Okay. All right. Well, as I said, do we have any questions, Brian?
Dude, we got a couple here.
All right.
We got this one from Mr. Christian James.
Let's take a look. Oh, this guy again.
Yeah, he's great.
All right, what's up, BYM podcast? So this is the Beard with a question for the Count and the Care Bear. I'm watching the UFC 271 countdown show right now. On my TV, on the scale, is Tai Tuivasa. Also the only heavyweight ever to miss weight.
Harrington.
Anyways, back to my question. Do you think a lot of heavyweights are just fat 205ers who don't want to get in shape? Because there's a lot of them who could easily cut down the 205 and make a legit run. Because at overweight heavyweight, when you come up against an actual heavyweight like Francis or Derrick, you're probably going to get smashed like Chris Dawkins did a few weeks ago against Derrick. I legitimately weigh 250 pounds. If I was to cut weight, I might make 240. So I understand from a heavyweight perspective how hard it can be to cut down, but I don't have 50 pounds of body fat to cut off either.
Well, I don't know about that. You look like you could be holding a few extra pounds. I don't think you're chiseled out of fucking granite, my friend. But thank you for the question. We love you. And that was hilarious the way you had the little captions coming up.
Yeah, the captions were funny.
Anthony, I mean, you're currently weighing 237 pounds. I mean, you look like you still look good. I mean, your face isn't all puffy like mine. You still look very healthy.
Yeah.
I think a lot of light heavyweights, heavyweights could go down, though. What do you say?
There is a handful of guys that could, like notable guys, in my opinion, that could go down. I've been openly saying.
Stay on, boys. Let's do the 4 shot. Sorry, Anthony, carry on.
No, you're fine.
I'm looking for more questions.
We like hanging out with you guys. Harrington's been quiet today.
I know.
Why are you so quiet? Are you mad at us?
I feel bad. That's why I'm like, have Harrington on because, we want to keep him included in the show. And we had a lot to talk about and we had guests. And he doesn't want to be interrupting, which I appreciate, Harrington. But I'm like, get that ugly face on here. Come on.
Are you mad?
No, I'm notably uninteresting. You know what I mean? You guys are just the volley is great between you guys. I'm adding absolutely nothing here. So I really am interested though about how many heavyweights you think could get down to how many heavyweights in the top 15 do you think could make 205 right now?
A decent portion of them, to be honest with you. If they had to, but they have to. It's not just like changing your diet a little bit and then cutting weight. They'd have to change their lifestyles. Like Derrick Lewis, never going to be a light heavyweight.
Lifestyle resembles your body.
Right. That's 100% true. But Tai Tuivasa, never going to make light heavyweight. You're talking Gone, never. Francis and Gone.
Derrick Lewis.
Yeah, Derrick Lewis, never. But like I've been saying, Stipe Miocic should be a 205er. Yeah. He is. Him and I weigh the same right now. Now he's probably got a little bit less body fat than I do right now, but he could make a lifestyle change and he could make 205.
Quick follow-up on that. I heard over the weekends, people were talking about Stipe putting on 20 pounds of muscle. Has anybody heard that or seen pictures of the
only
new and
place that anyone's heard
Stipe?
that is Chael.
Yeah?
Chael's the only guy saying that right now.
All right, Brian, what else we got, buddy?
We got another question here from Mr. Casey Rosevier.
All right, Casey.
Oh, the tattoos.
What's up, guys? Casey Rosevier here, coming with another question for the BYM pod. And my question is about UFC 271 last night. And I want to know Mike's opinion on what Robert could have done better in that fight. Should it have been to throw more right hands or to throw more right hands? Love you, buddy.
Yeah, well, fuck you, Casey, and fuck everyone else. Because he could have thrown more right hands. And here's how we're going to end the show. Because we should, let's be honest. I picked Robert to win because I thought he was a fighter that would use both hands, not just the left hand. And guess what? I'm a man of my fucking word. It is the time that we fucking salute Tai Tuivasa.
Oh, boy.
Casey, shut up.
I owe this to Tai Tuivasa. So I hope he gets this because I owe this shoey to him.
Let's discuss our beer choices first. Okay. This is the I apologize for it being a bloody Michelob Ultra, but you got a light beer as well.
It's a Busch Light.
So I got a fancy German beer, Paul Ehner, Hefeweizen.
Oh, you're a hipster. You're a hipster.
Hipster? This is
that's the fun.
I've been to the brewery.
Some little micro brew. Exactly.
It's not a micro brew. It's like one of the biggest beers in Germany.
Everywhere. This shit's going everywhere.
Fortunately, and Harrington, obviously you don't drink. So what are you? What is your choice?
I picked up a Heineken Zero.
Oh, what a guy! What a guy!
Yeah,
all right,
he's ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, raise your shoes.
Hold on, here we
raise
go.
Your beers. All right. This is disgusting. You know, technically we're doing this right. We're supposed to spit in it.
I'm not doing that.
Fuck it. Let's
Fine.
fucking go.
Tai Tuivasa, you're the man. We love you, buddy.
I'm
Congrats.
sorry, Ty.
Oh,
And everybody on the show at the weekend, you all did fucking amazing. Robert Whittaker, I love and
my
respect you. I really do.
Disgusting.
I'm going.
Oh, I'm gonna throw up.
I'm fucking going. Let's go.
boy.
I'm
Let's do
sorry,
it.
Tai
3, 2,
Tuivasa.
1. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. There we go. Do you know
That
what?
was
I don't
good.
know why. You know, it tasted
wasn't-
like a beer.
Yeah, it was fine.
It tastes like a beer.
I didn't even make a mess.
I did. I'm definitely wet. I have wet pants.
Yeah, I didn't even make a mess. I'm a goddamn. You know what? I hope Ty sees this and he rates our shoeies right there.
well, we're gonna send it to him. I've been trying to get him on the
We
show
have
for a
to.
while.
That's my apology to Tai Tuivasa. I'm sorry. I fucking love you.
I should have picked a better shoe. Fuck.
I know. I purposely went into a thing in a cupboard where I keep all my shoes. I'm like, I haven't worn them in forever. So they're the ones. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the show. Brian Harrington, we appreciate you. Anthony Smith, you're the man as always. Thank you for putting me in my place. People will really appreciate that. Darren Till, Jared Cannonier, you are the man. Anthony, anything to say to sign off?
No. Fantastic show. I was really. I'm in one show. We got to talk to Jared Cannonier and Darren Till. That's a fantastic day for me.
Yeah. Anything, boys? Anything? Any profound words?
Honor and privilege as always, guys.
Just join up at Gas Digital. Use promo code BYM.
Harrington.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Click the notification bell to find out whenever new episodes drop. If you're listening on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you find podcasts, make sure you rate and review, give 5 stars, and leave a positive rating.
Please do. Review, tell your friends, share. We're trying to grow this motherfucker, so let's go. We'll be back with another show on Thursday. Until then, take care. All the best.